Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody's weekend? Was you guys productive this weekend?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Any good news? Any deals come in this weekend? You guys have a busy weekend?
Not this weekend.
I did not.
Hey, not any new deals, but I did get some new prospects. I got two new out of my sphere that I'm gonna start working with, and one from you guys. But being my first time through with a young couple in Carrollwood over here, they're running me ragged, man.
They'll do that. Buyers will do that. So I will tell you, definitely tread lightly. Try to get as much information from them as possible while you're doing your showings, or else they will definitely run you ragged. That's for sure. But we have a good amount of people, so we're going to get started here. So why don't we start with Deanne? How was your week?
It was busy. I did
Busy's good.
some events and some networking, trying to get my own independent clients. I went to 2 properties and took pictures. They weren't exactly what I pictured they would be, so I'm seeing both sides of the real estate. They're, one of them needs a lot of work before it could be listed. But those were for listings. I attended a few networking events and met with some realtors just trying to get out there. Because I think that's important. And seeing if they had anything that my clients were looking for that I hadn't seen on realtor.com or Zillow or, just house hunting. I have 2 out-of-state clients that I'm dealing with that are making travel plans. So I'm trying to make arrangements for them, for homes for them to see that will still be available. Some of what they viewed have already went under contract. So they've lost those opportunities. One of them can't travel for like 2 to 3 weeks because of weather. They're up in Massachusetts. And then the other one is in Michigan. So, and he has a friend here that's helping him. But she wasn't what they're wanting to see. I finally got an appointment with the Keller House, the one that's kept everybody busy out in, I believe it's Fort Meade. I finally got an appointment to do a walkthrough there Wednesday of this week. So it took me several weeks to get an appointment for that. But that's who these buyers are mostly interested in because they don't mind fixing up the property. So it's just been, I haven't had time to get into Follow Up Boss to do any leads, but I've definitely been keeping my feet on the ground, trying to get out there, talk to people, network, just trying to balance what we have to do in this process, in this business.
Love it. So let's talk through a couple of things. Then I'll touch back on the topic of out of town buyers and best ways to work with them. So as far as calls go, what would you say you had for calls? Did you keep track of it?
I did not keep track of every call because it was business. It was just busy.
Busy's good.
But I would just say a ballpark of probably 25, 30. Just calling friends, asking them if they know anybody listing a house, like doing that networking. I would say there was probably 25, 30 phone calls made there. Talking to current clients under contract, I would say probably 15, 16. And then for networking with other realtors, just to speak to them as they call and just network as far as talking about houses and clients, I would say there was 4. So that's pretty much the week in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you had a really productive week. Would you say did you get any new leads or any new referrals from all your conversations?
I have 4 referrals. 3 of them I need to meet with. One of them I met with yesterday. And those referrals were from friends.
Love
And
it.
then I have 2 referrals that I actually went to their house and took photos last week, that I met through last week. And then
When you say took
um
photos, did you get professional photography or you took your own?
no, like just take photos, like to get an idea of what the listing is. I've never listed a
Gotcha.
property yet. So this was to get an idea of what the home looks like, to kind of gauge it on getting comparisons to other homes in the area. Also to work with Caitlin so she can kind of advise me of what, she thinks she would do versus what I would do for advice for the seller. Because I want to continue to work with her so she can guide me through the process on how we're supposed to do this. So,
Cool.
so that I could work with her with that. So basically her and I have been working together a little bit, and it's been helping with, knowing what the next step to do is. And it's good to look back at the photos because it's hard to remember everything when you're there, especially when there's a lot to be done. One of the
Absolutely.
properties they want to sell, like they're trying to decide if they want to divide land to sell it or if they want to sell it as a whole. They've got some cleanup on the property. Should they just leave it as is and let that be somebody else's problem? And the seller just has a lot of questions. So not knowing what to do navigating wise, working with Caitlin's good for that.
Yeah. So I would say, as you get more and more accustomed to doing your listing presentations and listing walkthroughs, something that I keep in mind is definitely I have an idea of what those values are walking in, right? So I know if I look at a property, I can price it like good, better, best, right? So when you're pulling your comps, you have all of your values. You've got, below average, you've got average, and you got above average, right? So good, better, best. That's how I rank them in my mind. So then when I walk the property, I know, okay, well, if all the average properties are, let's just say 300,000, and this property is below average, I know my starting point is going to be well below 300,000, right? So that's that pricing strategy I have in mind. So that as you get more and more involved in your career, you can start to price these on the spot. I like that you take photos. That's a good best practice because if you're seeing lots of houses in one week, it's hard to remember every single detail. So that's a really good reference is to take photos and make sure you're taking photos of the big stuff too, like AC, any kind of water damages, age of, the AC itself, the age of the water heater. If you can capture those, that's really good stuff. And it also makes you look like the market expert as well. So those are good best practices that you're doing. You're already building some good habits there. So that's really cool. Something I want to go back to is the out-of-town buyers that you mentioned. So the out-of-town buyers, get accustomed to working with them because this is a huge part of our business, right? So those out-of-town buyers, if they have friends that are local, like you mentioned, they have a friend that's local, I'll bring them and say, hey, let's get a scheduled appointment to this property. We can bring your friend. We can do a Zoom call or a Google Meet call and try to do a FaceTime call so that you're prepared to see the property in its entirety. So that's a really good practice to try to capture those guys to come in. But when you're making, or if they're not local and you're making those videos, I want to make sure that we're making really good videos. Okay. Because I think that's that first impression that we want to make sure that first of all, you want to make sure you're dressed appropriately, right? Not saying you weren't, but just in general, make sure you're professionally dressed, because as you're taking pictures or videos, you start to hit, the bathroom or something like that, you'll obviously be in that shot. So you want to make sure that you are standing out as a professional, and make sure that you're slowing down and taking a good wide view of the entire property, and that you're narrating as well. How many of you guys feel comfortable to narrate these videos or these video walkthroughs? You guys feel pretty good with that? Okay, good. So that's something that you want to make sure you have your terminology down, right? That you're speaking real estate terms. If they've got coffered ceilings or if they've got 6-inch baseboards, you want to make sure that you're able to talk about all these cosmetic upgrades that they may or may not have. So I think those videos are really good. The way I like to upload those videos, you don't have to use this best practice, but this is how I do it. I'll take a Google Drive, and then I will attach those videos in Google Drive, and I'll label it that address. And then I'll put the seller's disclosure or any documents and a printout of the MLS along with the photos attached to it as well. So you guys all have different MLS systems, but here in Florida, we have the broker synopsis that we can put in there. We have the customer synopsis. We've got the one report that has all the photos. I put all of that in there except the broker synopsis. And then the photos themselves, the videos that I took, and all the information that I can find on it. Okay, so that's a really good best practice. That just shows the level of detail there. And then now they have a Google Drive that they can start, and I'll say, hey, this is going to be your own Google Drive. So as we get under contract, then we start to have inspections and we have your insurance. I'll put all of that information in that Google Drive, so it'll be stored forever. So what you're doing there is you're setting the tone that they're getting under contract with you. Right? So you're already kind of pre-closing them in that manner. So you want to make sure you say those words like, hey, I'm going to put this Google Drive together, put all your videos in there. And then once we're under contract, we'll make sure we have your inspection reports in there, your insurance reports. So that way you have a one-stop shop plan of where you can find all your documents. So it's going to be a really good tool for you. So try to steal those, make them your own. But Deanne, you had a really good week, so keep it up. I like to hear that you're working on getting your own sphere of influence leads. I love to hear that. Those warm leads are great because they close a lot better and a lot more sooner, right? So that's the good stuff.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. All right, Jeffrey, how was your week?
Hey, it was actually busy but fun. At least fun for me. When I
Okay.
do something new, it's fun to me. So I've got the young couple I was talking about a minute ago. They are in the process. They close on March 10th, and they got a 1988 townhouse they've been playing with. So we've been in and out. We've been finding a few things, back and forth with the sellers, working on HOA approval. HOA person's not responding, so I've actually found their office. And I just get in front of them and say, "Okay, give me this, give me this, give me these questions."
And this is under
Um,
contract, or you're trying to get them under contract on this one?
They're under contract.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah, so I'm trying to help these kids get everything lined up for closing. But then their appraisal came back low, and looking at what they did, the appraiser and listing agent and pretty much everybody's opinion, they were using the complete wrong comps. So I don't know how they went through and did it or whatever, but there were better comps that we looked at the beginning to know we were offering a good amount to start with.
What type of loan is this?
Conventional.
Okay.
So
Were you
can
able
they-
to push back? Yeah. Were you able to push back on the appraisal?
Yes, we did a rebuttal.
Okay.
My buyers, myself, hit the lender with questions and everything else, and the listing agent actually did a formal rebuttal form back to them. So instead of having 3 different forms, that was the only form that went through, but then we'd all been hitting, and the lenders are supposed to have an answer back to us about a new appraisal on today or tomorrow.
Very good. So the thing with appraisals, they're a shot in the dark, right? We can use our best guess as we're putting together. We talked about, values, good, better, best, or, below, above average, and actually average pricing.
Right.
Make sure when you're looking at your comps, you're within that half-mile scope and you're not looking outside of that, right? Because if you start to look outside of that, it's not really a like area or it's not really a like property. So make sure you stay within that half mile. But I'm glad to hear you did a rebuttal. Hopefully you can win that one. I know those are really hard sometimes to actually win, but if it's egregious enough, hopefully you can capture that back. So sounds like the transaction is really taking a good part of your week. Do you feel like you're gonna be able to close this one out, or how you feeling with the appraisal and all that?
Between us and the sellers, we have a good place. I think they want to sell it. We want to buy it. Mike, these guys want it. It's all really going to hinge on this appraisal.
Okay.
And even then, so I'm like, okay, we might not hit March 10th. We might be off a couple of days based
Yeah, I
on
would
their
definitely prepare
processing.
for an
But
extension.
um,
Definitely going to extend. Now, what about your week otherwise from that? I know it's consuming your days and times, but how was your productivity?
well, what I'm trying to do is what you guys are telling us is you got to get a rhythm going, right? So actually Monday is turning into my follow-up day and getting myself reorganized and set up again and kicking off again, starting with you guys here. But then Tuesday is prospecting. Wednesday and Thursday, I'm trying to get into the Keller Williams office. If
Love
I'm
it.
not running with a buyer and showing houses, I'm trying to get in there, do a couple of trainings, and meeting the local agents, including some of our people. We've got 5 people from our group that are in this office. So I try to text with them and meet up with them in there. But then, yeah, the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is run. I want to get in front of people, get in front of them. So I did like 3 different social events over this last couple of days, and that's where I got a couple of new leads that I get to start running with, building up like Deanne was saying, is you're building your own circle, but still following up with leads from you guys at the same time.
Sure. Well, what I love to hear is that you have some structure, right? I think that's where agents mostly win, is when they have structure in their day, right? Where we don't win is when we get that kind of like, oh, I did my emails, oh, then my phone rang, and then I did this. Like, having that structure will keep you focused. So I'm glad to hear that you have that to kind of keep you sharp. I love to hear that you're doing updates with your clients on Mondays. That's huge, and that will continuously give you those referrals as well. So just make sure you're asking for referrals during that process, right? Like, hey, just wanted to give you my Monday update. Here's where we're at. And oh, by the way, if you know of anybody that, actually, don't say if you know anybody, just say, do you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell? Why? Because when you're going through that process of home buying or home selling, you have conversations with others that actually are looking to do the same. And so just naturally and organically, you start to stumble on some people. So if you do, definitely send them my way, right? So that's the kind of
Right.
conversation that you're having with the updates. Also, I think it's cool that you're doing your prospecting and you have that sectioned off and you're doing that as well. I love to hear that you're connecting with the other agents and you're being in the office. I think that's really good to continuously connect with your local partners as well. I would say caution not to spend too much time going back to Deanne's notes, right? Networking events. Those can definitely consume you, right? And so the local agents, in my opinion, are not going to give you deals, right? They're not going to give you clients. However, they may have our off-market stuff, or as you start to submit offers to some of these other agents that are listing, you'll have those connections to go with as well. But I just caution you not to spend too much time with the networking stuff, because at the end of the day, the only thing that moves the needle for us and drives production is new contacts and doing your follow-up. So
Okay, yeah.
sounds like you're doing some good stuff though, Jeff. I love it.
Trying to, still working the other job too, but hey, this is gonna be the future.
That's it. Well, keep it up, my friend. You're doing good.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Alberto, how are you?
How you doing, my friend? Excellent.
Good. What's up? How was your week?
Well, I'm usually here in the office from 8:30, sometimes 9 a.m. I use my time for prospecting till probably 10 or 11. By that time, I probably have some appointments in the afternoon. I'm trying to prospect more for listings than buyers. Like I'm trying to do like 70-30, 60-40. But I'm on that rhythm. I check the list you put on for Mojo, but think the newest one is September. So I gotta, it takes time because I gotta check if it's already listed or they still expire. But I got a few leads in there, so I have 2 listing appointments for this week.
Nice.
I'm gonna see Lori this afternoon at 12. I'm gonna show
Oh,
her
good.
2 properties out of 4 because the other one is not ready, and well, the third one hasn't confirmed yet, so I might be able to show her at least 3. I have a customer that switched from Orlando to Cape Coral, so I'm trying to sell her a new construction instead of pre-sale. I think it will be easier that way. And then I have another customer that might be bluffing, and I got it from the lead pool you guys have, or we have. He might be bluffing or he might be the real deal. He's looking for 2 properties, one in Orlando and one in Miami. He said he wants 25 million property. He said he wants a palace, not a mansion. So like I say, he can be a real deal. He can be a bluffer, but I'm working with him right now.
Okay, I did get some an off-market property for you, by the way, for mobile home. So,
Beautiful.
yeah, it's in Crystal River, 8 mobile homes. It's a full mobile. It's a park with 9 subdivided and flipping them into progress. So they're doing some updates. They're looking for 800,000 on it. 4 are finished, 3 not yet touched, and 1 occupied with the tenant. So they're looking for about 800,000 or so. They're all on wells and septic, and I think once it's updated, we'll cash flow pretty well. So if you're looking for something, might be good.
I can offer. They're looking more for public services, but I'll offer because the one you sent me from the other agent, they're already in the market. So I'm sure they know already. I talked to them. I called the company and they said, well, they have a website and they have a listing agent for each one of the properties. But it's good because I can talk to one of those agents and see what they have off market. But it's a lot of work. Honestly, I haven't been able even to get in touch with them because every day is it can be the busiest day or it can be just a busy day, at least for me, right? So I got tons of calls to make. Sometimes I don't have the time to do it.
Sure. So I am sending you a new list, or sending Gene and Dana a new list. They can upload it into Follow Up Boss with expires for Central Florida.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, because the one that I have there are September. So if I got something for December, January, that would be awesome.
You got it. All right, just sent that over. So they'll be working on that for you today. Cool. Well, it sounds like you're productive and you're having some good conversations. So I'm assuming that your dials are way up, being that you're doing your consistent lead generation. So how many calls would you say you're making?
Depends. There's some days that, like I said, I don't have the time because I'm meeting a customer or I'm working with one customer, and there's a lot of time consuming with that customer, back and forward, trying to get them a property or something. I just want to get something on the contract like as soon as possible. So sometimes I spend too much time with a customer, but I spend on the phone probably from 8:30 a.m. until 4, I would say. So I'm reaching at least 20, 30 calls. I'm gonna do a video this week. I can share with all the team. It's a video that you pretty much present yourself and says, I'm in real estate. And then that video, I'm gonna send it to each one of my contacts from A to Z. So sometimes they forget or they don't know that you're in real estate, and they know somebody that's looking for a rental or buy or sell, and they don't know, right? So I'm gonna do that this week. I'm gonna send a video to each one of my contacts, letting them know that I'm willing to do any real estate right now. I'm happy to share with the team so they can do the same.
Love it. I love that. So you're doing some really good stuff. So I like to hear that you guys are doing videos. or you're doing videos rather. So that's a good like introduction. So I think that's definitely a best practice that you guys could take in, and utilize that, right? So if you have a brand new Zillow lead, if you're an out of town client that you're meeting as well, those are all good things. Go ahead, Cielo.
When you're talking about videos and photos, just kind of want to pitch in that there is this, this is a sales call, this is a sales pitch, but it is very beneficial. If you go to Realty, and I'll put the realty.ai, I'll put the link on the comments. You could put in your pictures that you take, and it literally, the first video you make is free. It literally makes a touring video that is very dynamic. And I have to tell you, like, I win a lot of, like when I show that to my clients, they're very impressed with it. So I'm hoping to land a couple of listings because of it. So I'll put the link on there, but just saying for people that are starting out, and it's very inexpensive.
Okay. What was that site again? Realty.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I'll put
Okay.
it on there for you guys because it's very, I mean, I keep pitching as full transparency. My son's a computer science major at Miami, University of Miami in Oxford here in Ohio. And he's a computer science and he's got a startup. So this is kind of part of his project to graduate.
Yeah, that's cool.
But he only does it because he got sick of me asking him or asking me to help me through with real estate since he was a kid. And so he just, if you go there, upload your photos, it creates this amazingly dynamic video. And if you're interested in it, it's very inexpensive. Like you can get videos for at least, you know, if you sign up, you can get videos like $16 per video as opposed to having a video. But it takes your photos and it actually creates a touring video through AI. And there's a lot of people now, a lot of realtors that are using it, but also companies that work for realtors putting videos together. So I would just say, if you have any questions, DM me or call me. But please use it
Very cool.
because it kills it's a great tool to show, even if it's like a $65,000, listing. They think that you're spending all this money to market it like it's a $400,000 listing. And when people see it, they're very interested in it. So just making sure you guys knew that.
I like that. Yeah. So remember, we're in the people business, right? And so that first impression is huge. That's a great recommendation. AI is definitely the future. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but there's so much that you can do with AI there, from listing descriptions to videos to, they've got AI agents that will, basically do everything for you like an admin. So tons of good stuff to do there. But at the end of the day, the number one thing that drives business and production is going to be that phone call and that connection that you build with the customer. So, Alberto, going back to you, I love to hear and I'm proud of you for doing and staying consistent in your business and working through and trying to find listings and whatnot. So that is huge. So hopefully you guys can pull from that. And so if you have any scripts or anything that you're using, if you want to share that with the group, if you'd be so kind, that might be helpful for everybody. I think that's huge. Also, just a side note, guys, if you have the ability to turn your camera on, I think that that's a great way for us to kind of, start to know each other and everything like that. And I think it's just overall professional. So if you guys can turn your camera on, we really, really appreciate it. And we'll see all your beautiful faces. Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna move on. So when the cameras popped up, everybody's order changed. So I gotta go back in order here. Cielo, you're next actually. So while you have your mic off.
Okay. I'm doing pretty well. I actually been kind of having to take a little bit of an administrative leave because I have 4 closings next week. So I'm very excited about that. So just kind of getting everybody's paperwork done, working with a couple of first-time home buyers and just like also a couple that doesn't speak English. So that's been a real experience for me. Really like that. I have 2, I'm hoping to get 2 listings up next week. My friend did not choose me for her listing, so I'm going through the guilt process of making her feel like she's made the wrong choice, kind of like in a funny way, but kind of showing her what I can do. So hoping to get that listing back from the agent that kind of took it from
Why do
me.
you think she went the opposite direction? I'm always curious. What's the competitive advantage there?
she's on the east side and I'm on the west side, but I think that there was two agents that were very aggressive with her and went in there and this kind of developed that friendship. And with me, I just, I think it was convenience for her. But I even gave her a presentation of all this stuff. So she's impressed, but I said, hey, you know what, if they don't sell it, so she's doing a lot of work on the house. I mean, this is kind of like $1 million home. So, so that like it was hard because you're a friend, but she doesn't want to, I don't know.
Let's
think
let's
she
go
was-
back. Two things.
Right.
I'm making some notes, so let me go back to these. So you have 4 closings. Do you do anything creative, gift wise, or anything that you're closing out the process? Anything that's like a one up that other agents might not be doing?
Like after they close, yes.
Closing gifts, pre-closing,
Yeah,
anything like
if you
that.
give me a moment, I'll show you it in a minute. I actually do these house shaped. Well, listen, go get somebody else if you want really quick, and I'll show you really quick because I got it ready to ship to them or
Okay,
give to
we'll
them.
come back to that. I'll write that down. So
Okay. Oh, you want me to come back?
you
Okay,
you
write it
finished.
down.
So and then the other one was, do you think if you were making your calls consistently to your sphere, you would have been able to get ahead of that by chance?
You know what? I was on point. I think it
Really?
was more of the visibility that she had because she was there. But what I'm doing, I'm doing a very different approach with her. I'm having a meeting with her, hopefully a dinner meeting with her this week or next to go over. She doesn't know what she's going to do with the money that she's going to get because she's retiring and she wants to rent. And so I told her like she's going to have capital gains. So I said, here's how you can use that money as an investment property. So I'm just kind of showcasing her that the way that I'm bringing it to her is not just trying to sell her house and get my commission. I'm actually helping her do like some smart things with that money. And so I'm trying to show her my talent set from that perspective. I think I don't know what, like when I asked her, she just kind of didn't say, I just felt that these people came in and were like, oh, we can do this. And they're making her fix all of this and do all this and really placating to her. And they had more access to her. But yeah, I guess I could have tried harder, but I tried to see her, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's okay.
I'll get her.
So
Okay.
so I'm gonna come back to you, grab that thing, and then I'm gonna chat about something really quick.
Okay.
All right. So something that we can do to get ahead of it as far as our sphere of influence, because that's a huge part of our business that we're probably not tapping into as much as we should. There's something that you can do monthly. There's 2 things, right? So you can send out what's called a letter of the heart, where you're just talking about what's going on in your family life and your personal life, and doing actually a physical mailer. That's something that I'm starting to do that has had a good reception with some of my past clients. So it's just basically like my topic might be something, hey, it's been a really busy month with my son's basketball team, and I just love to see him grow and seeing him become growing from a boy to a man. He's 12 going to 13, right? And that family time, something like that, that's a little bit more personable with our past clients. And then hitting them with another email or letter campaign where it's like evidence of success. Look what I've done lately, kind of thing, right? Just listing, just sold, pending, new contracts, whatever, a new story, right? So, hey, I had a client that had to buy and sell, and I was able to help them in how you manage that process, right? So those experiences that you're having on a daily basis and being able to put that into words and actually showing somebody, I think would help somebody gravitate towards you. So those are 2 things that you can do, either mailers or emails, letter of the heart campaign, and then also evidence of success. Go ahead, click Cielo. Looks like you got your thing there.
So this is a cutting board.
Oh,
And
very
of
cool.
course it's backwards. And so it has their first four, this is a couple that we closed on. So that's Masako and Hitoshi. That's his wife and husband, and that Kamuro is their last name, and then the address at the bottom.
Love it. That's awesome. So, all right, where are you getting these and how much are they?
These are, just go to Amazon. I can actually put the link on Amazon.com, and I don't think they're more than $60, if that. But I just feel like something like this, and then I just put the card that I put on there. I just feel like I always sign up your forever realtor. So like just kind of reminding them that, it says Love your new home and loving working with you. Thank you so much. Cielo, your forever realtor. And so I kind
Oh,
of
very
want to make
nice.
sure that, and then I say, you know, the best reward is your recommendation. And I'm trying to get, like what I'm doing now, challenging all of my leads, especially my Zillow leads. I just encourage, like, if you're happy, what are 3 people that you think you can recommend me to, or can you put something like, just really trying to get that extra mileage out of things. And I got one client that I'm excited about through that, like that. So we'll
It
see.
only takes one, right, for it to work. That's awesome.
It only takes one. Yeah. So,
That's
and
right.
then I'm also
Love it.
continuing everything. So like right now I have people, I had this weekend, I kind of, like, it was an accidental vacation. I had a couple that I was very excited to show them, and we had like 9 houses scheduled for yesterday. And unfortunately, I had asked for their pre-approval, and because they were looking at houses, and I was like, well, listen, hey, let's get it together because houses are growing pretty fast. Like I saw one house in a day. And turns out that they didn't have enough money. Like he's approved to this much and she's looking at houses up here. And so they called me, like she called me very upset with him. And I said, no, no, no. So we're working through repairing their credit and trying to
Mm.
get it higher. And so I'm seeing them, I'm talking to them today because I don't think that and this is not a Zillow lead. So I'm trying to figure out who they're working with to get that approved. And then I have a couple of clients that are repairing their credit, and this is through Zillow. So trying to get them to repair their credit in order to be able to have like a family that's moving here from Alaska in like 3 months. So just several leads that I'm kind of working through,
Mhm.
but I had to cancel all of them. And then I just kind of decided to focus on my administrative, kind of like, um, you know, uh, catch up on everything that I need to make sure so everything closes. So I might have to
Listen,
hire an
sometimes
assistant to do
I
it.
mean, it's an ebb and flow, right? So sometimes when
Yeah,
you get this batch of closings, you kind of have to like take a deep breath and get through that process and give great customer service because that's what it's really ultimately
right.
about. But as long as the majority of the time we as agents were productive, we have a schedule like Alberto, or we have that, that structure like Jeff has been doing. When we have that, then when we take time off to take care of our clients, it doesn't hurt as bad because we're still filling that pipeline. So I
Right.
love to hear what you're doing. That's really good stuff. I like the closing gifts. Hopefully you can win back that listing. I know that hurts. There's nothing worse when a friend or family member, past client, sells a house, buys a house with somebody else, and you check in, they're like, "Oh man, I wish you would have called me earlier. I bought something." That's so defeating. So try to stay ahead of that with your monthly check-ins, your touch bases, client events, letter of the hearts, whatever it is that keeps you in front of your clients. Keep doing those things. So that's important. That's the point. So anyway, good stuff there, Cielo. Thank you so much. I'm gonna move on to Pam now. Pam, how was your week?
It was good. I didn't hit my 60, but I'm gonna get there this week. That's my goal, is to get those 60 calls. I did do some calls to all my buyers from last year to remind them of the homestead. So I used that time to connect with them again and
How'd
to
that go?
good. Went well.
Any referrals from it? Any?
So I'm supposed to be getting a referral from one of them. So
Okay.
we shall see. I will reach out again for that referral.
Love it. Homestead. All right. So what's stopping you from getting to the 60? You've been busy with clients,
So,
follow-ups.
so I did have 3 showings this week. Not enough. My phone's not ringing. My Zillow stopped ringing, and Redfin. I called Verizon. They supposedly did something to make my phone faster, because I haven't been able to get not one Redfin. When I click it, it comes in, and as soon as it comes in, I click it, and it says somebody else already got it. And it's been like a month, and I still haven't gotten one. But I just did the Verizon update, or the Verizon, whatever they supposedly did, just days ago. So hopefully
Mhm.
that works. Um,
And what about the Zillow stuff? Is that hitting your phone or not?
I haven't been getting. I updated because I talked to Sam last week, I think it was, or the week before, and I explained to him that I was still getting a lot of leads that were just way out of my area, like 2 hours away. And so he told me where I needed to go in the app to put my preferred zip codes. I did that. So I don't know if because I did that, now I'm just not getting any calls at all.
No, there's something going on there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'll check it out and get with you after, Pam.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Because I want to be busy. I mean, I'm busy, but I want to be busier. This week I have 2 condos under contract that also have taken one of them. I had to find another lender, which what I did was I called around. I called the one condo that actually did close this year, conventional financing, to find out who they used so that I could get them approved through them so that we can actually get this closed. But I got about 42 calls. So not the 60. Did we lose Angel?
I don't know, but I got kicked off earlier and had to get
Oh,
back on.
no, he's,
There he is.
Angel, he's back, but we can't hear him.
Can't hear.
Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot him a text, tell him.
I wonder if he had a call come in. Sometimes you have a call come in and it like messes up the audio.
While he's off though, Cielo, I like that idea of the cutting board. I'm actually looking for ideas now of what to become a normal thing for me from when people close.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I was
You like
telling
the
her,
cutting
thank you.
boards.
I like the idea of the cutting board.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking now for ideas of what's my closing thing gonna be.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that. I was saying,
Oh, sorry, go
I-
ahead.
that's all right. I was saying, I think you still had a very productive week. 45 calls is still productive, right? And you're doing all the right stuff. We got to figure out the Zillow stuff. So after this call, I will dive into Zillow and figure out what's going on there. So we'll get to the bottom of it.
I
That
back
is-
her on the Zillow because I haven't had a Zillow lead call since like Thursday or Friday, I think it was. I'd have to double check, but I didn't get anything, I believe, Saturday or Sunday. I think it
So
was
no
Friday.
real-time touring for you, Deanne? Cause that's what
Yes.
you'll get. Nothing that came in. It might just be because of your areas and just slow for real-time touring. But yeah, cause I've
Well,
seen like live ones come in, but not real-time.
okay,
Yeah,
so
that's really weird.
because that's what I was gonna ask if there was another update somewhere, because I had just messaged Dana this morning. I was gonna ask her if we needed to update anything because I hadn't got no calls all weekend. And I was like, is that normal? But okay.
Yeah, sometimes it can just happen. Sometimes it's like busier real-time tourings come in certain areas that you're at. But again, it's like there's other agents that are on real-time, in the pool as well. So it's just first come,
Mhm.
first serve. But yeah, everything looks good on my end for you still. But keep
Okay.
updating. It doesn't keep updating, keep refreshing. It's still important to do. It'll help.
So it's the app itself that we're updating and our phone, just to
Yes,
be
your
correct,
phone
right?
and the app. Yep, making
Both.
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. I
Okay.
just want to make sure.
I don't want to get sidetracked because I want to make sure I hit everybody here. So let me just fly through this. Pam, I'm going to move on to the next one, but I'll work with your Zillow stuff. I'll give you a call after the call.
I also want expired. I heard something about expired, right?
Yep. Dana, can you put her in that expired bucket and give her access to that?
Yes.
Thank
Can I
you.
add something really quick, Angel?
Sure, Cielo, go ahead.
So with Zillow, make sure that your app's only on one on your phone
Oh,
that
sure.
you use
Yeah.
it, or your no iPads, no desktop, nothing. Make sure it's just that. And then you might have to get an antenna extender for your phone, for your cellular phone. I'll put that link also, because it helps you put your antenna to your phone, and it knows what tower you work with, and it makes your calls go faster. So I had a lot of issues with Zillow until I figured how to do that. And I have like an official antenna that faces my tower where my phone pings and tells you how to do all of that. I'll send you that link as well.
When
It's like
you
this-
say one on only one device, you mean like we can't have it on our computer and our phone?
You can, but you're talking about that you're not getting some of the calls, or you're getting like somebody else picks it. Because my team, we're very tight, but we're always like, it's always like interception and stuff. If you want to have that, I had it on my iPad and on my phone, and it delayed the signal to my phone.
Okay.
And so what
Okay.
happens is somebody else jumps in. And so you want to make sure that I had to take it off everything and just use it on my phone, because that's where I go all the time. And then your phone might not be directly connected to you, like as strong. You should have at least 3 bars on your phone. And if you don't, then you need to try to find out how to get 3 or more bars. And I'm sending you the link of where to get that extender.
Thank you.
I like that. Yeah, put that in the group chat. Cielo's
I am.
dropping nuggets today. Good job.
Thank you. Hey, I'm a brand ambassador, remember? I love it. I want
All right,
success.
let me get to Sarah now, and then we'll have Melania. I think may have jumped off, but then let's see if she gets back on. Sarah, you go first.
So this week was pretty slow. I had my hand up because I have not gotten a single Redfin lead. Like, isn't that the one that's supposed to like text you and then you reply to the text?
Have you gotten any at all?
No.
You may have not been onboarded for that, so we have to see. They only got so many, and then they paused it because they were behind. So, Dana, you can
Yeah,
check
that's
check
the
and see.
case. That
Yeah,
is the
so
case. Yeah, there's
Can
a
you
bunch of
check-
people waiting.
yeah, so they're
Can you-
working on getting the next batch of agents uploaded on it. So we'll have that coming up soon, probably next week or so.
Okay.
Do we have to set up an account for Redfin?
Yeah, you'll get an email that says you have to set up your portal. So
Okay.
hopefully that will be coming soon. Also, Dana, can you capture these links and stuff in there and just put it out to everybody in an email?
The Redfin links. Well,
No. That
oh, I'm
Cielo's
sorry.
putting in there?
The what?
Just
Oh, the one
Cielo's
that
putting in there?
Cielo.
Yeah,
Cielo-
just copy and paste those for me.
Yeah, let me see if I can grab them. Cielo, if you can send them to me too. It kind
Sure.
of giving me a little,
So,
And then- keep an eye open. It'll be the Redfin email will come directly from Redfin. So just have to be patient with that. Sorry, but hopefully in the next week.
yep, and we're definitely trying to get all locations on. So we're trying to get Dallas and Cleveland on Redfin as well. We're looking at creating a national account, so that's going to take some time, but that's the next part of the process with Redfin. So their technology. I mean, if I'm being honest, this stuff, their IT is terrible, so they're working through the process. So it's coming, probably later than sooner, but it's coming. With that being said, make sure I get my next person on here. Sarah, did you have anything else as far as the week goes? How was your week otherwise?
It was pretty good. I had an appointment. I had 2 appointments, but one that I had Saturday that I'm pretty excited about. They're looking to do a modular home, so it kind of falls like right in with the training tomorrow that I think Sam is doing with the mobile homes.
Mm-hmm.
So they were looking at like vacant land, and we went to a piece of land that has like a house that needs to be just completely demolished. So I've got to try to figure out like ballpark number of how much that would cost to get rid of that house.
Okay. Yep. I think the mobile home training is going to be good. I think that when it comes to vacant land, I like to be thorough as possible to explain the process. Usually once they see how involved that process can be from expense and time wise, they usually go, okay, that doesn't sound as good as I thought it was going to be. So then they end up going more towards residential. So it's good to know all of the things that are part of that, whether it's impact fees or, adding septic and sewer and connection fees with that, and the building construction loans and the costs associated with it, getting GCs, all those different things that come with the land. knowing that I think is going to make you dangerous. So definitely, if you guys can jump on that. Now, every single week on Mondays, we're putting out the email that shows, hey, what everybody's got going on business wise. Hopefully you're looking at that and going, hey, I'm at the bottom of the list. I need to work myself up. Number two, we're also putting out the trainings that are coming up that week. So you guys can put those on your calendars, which they should be on your Google calendars. If you don't have that set up already, those are good. Those are good because they have reminders. So the mobile home training, it's a pop-up training that we're doing like once a week, talking about different various topics. Definitely jump on that one. Sam's done tons of land deals, so it'll definitely be helpful for you. So thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, this one, I did have a quick question about that.
Sure.
So I know like this one has the house on it, so they already have the septic, the well water, and the electric. But when you're speaking in terms of septic, I know in Tennessee it was like, it's kind of weird because it's the septic tank is spec'd for how many bedrooms. Is that the same here, or are they for bathrooms? Because I know in Tennessee it's weird that they use bedrooms to spec the septic tanks.
I'm not following the question. You have to say that again.
So when you're talking about like septic tanks that are already existing on land, I know like in Tennessee, they spec those per bedroom. So your septic tank will be like however many bedrooms it's, you know, meant for. Is that the same here, or do they go by bathrooms here?
I don't know enough to say, you know, I did some pricing on septics for a client of mine, and I did notice that each septic company was asking me how many bedrooms. So I think there's a correlation there of basically how many people are intended to live in the home versus how much the tank can handle, and size wise of the home as well. So I don't know enough to say. So that's a good question for Sam. He might know more than I. I honestly, you know, being in Orlando, we don't do as many septic and mobile homes as much as you might see in some of the outskirt areas or Winter Haven. So I don't know enough to say to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I know like in Tennessee it was bedrooms, which is always like weird and catches people off guard because like why would a bedroom matter to a septic tank? But
well, I think it matters because that will tell you how many people are going to be in the home.
yeah.
Right. So it's all about the size. And then, you know, for Orange County and Osceola here, you know, locally, some counties aren't even allowing you to have septic because of they're considered like green areas. So there's lots of variables there, and some may require, you know, calling the county to be a little more specific. So that's a good question to bring up, though. Sam, I know more.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, Angel, it's septic systems is based on the amount of bedrooms in the state of Florida.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay,
Yep,
thanks.
there you go. Sean's your local expert too. He's been doing lots of vacant land, so I'm sure he's been getting lots of education.
Okay.
Too
Cool.
much.
All right. Well, you're up next anyway, Sean. So hit us
Alright.
with what you got. How was your week? How's business?
It was good. It was really good. I had a listing go active Friday morning.
Mhm.
I made over, I think, 67 calls. I had 2 appointments, and I should be closing on 2 deals this week. So pretty busy. And I have negotiating going on with some of my own deals that I had before joining Fortify.
Love it.
Yeah.
Very good. So you're staying busy. And you know, I picked on you before to kind of pick the brain, but it seems like for you, it's just consistency is the key. That's
Absolutely.
about right.
Absolutely. Yep.
And is it, are you being selective with your leads now that you're busy, or are you just taking anything and everything and working through it?
A little bit of both. I mean, I'm a little bit selective, but like the deal that I just put up on Friday, I mean, it's a little $34,000 vacant land, but they're going very quickly right now. So
Mhm.
selling the heck out of these vacant lands. But
I think it all
I'm
adds up at the end of the day, right? So, you know, I
Yeah.
put one under contract for 50,000. And I had not really a whole lot to do with it, right? A couple of calls and
Yeah.
email, and that's about it.
I mean, the buyer, I haven't even met the buyer, and we're closing this week. So, and I'm representing both sides on this deal. So, yeah, it's just a matter of staying consistent. I got a really good base of clients right now. They feed me a lot of leads. So yeah, I mean, I got everything out from $2 million all the way down to 34,000 in my
Love it.
pocket. So Yeah, I'm
Love
busy.
it. Bill, I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I know that consistency is the key. And so, do you have theme days or do you just kind of have a plan going on?
Theme days for me? No, I don't have any theme days. It's every day's different for me, but I know my main goal is to make my calls and follow up on admin work. But follow-ups for me. That's the most
Love it.
important.
Love it. How do you stay organized and do your follow-ups? Are you using Follow Boss or what's your system?
Well, yeah, I mean, I use I also have access to Landvoice for expired. So I use Landvoice a lot for expireds and cancellations and even FISBOs actually. But I'm sorry, I had a call coming in. I'm sorry. What was the other question, Angel?
That's it. I was just using to see what your follow-ups are.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
just using Follow Boss or whatever.
Yeah, Follow Up Boss and using the task system and Follow Up Boss, but just the word follow up. I mean, whether I'm using Follow Up Boss or it's going in my calendar as a reminder I need to follow up with someone. That's the most important, is following up for me.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Good work. Thank you, my
Yeah.
friend.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Last but not least, Vince, you there? Maybe Vince chopped off. Well, I think that's all I have. I mean, we're right on time, 10:56. We're doing pretty good. So lots of good gems getting dropped today. Thank you, Cielo, for giving us lots of good tips. I got to say, I'm really proud of this group. You guys have been consistently coming and consistently doing your work and your follow-ups. And I think it's starting to really build into something really good for most of you guys. If you're not seeing the success that you want or need, continue to push through. Melania, I'll get right to you. Continue to push through and stay consistent, and you will see it bubble up. This business is really tough, right? So sometimes it's you could be laughing one minute, crying the next, and ripping your hair out the next minute, but you guys just have to just keep pushing through because it's just really a cyclical business. But at the end of the day, remember what we got into business for, right? Obviously to get paid, but to help clients. There's nothing that feels better than trying to help somebody and you have that big win, you get that big deal, right? So that's what it's all about. Melania, sorry, I didn't see you, and maybe you jumped off, but tell me about your week really quick.
Hello. I'm sorry I don't have the camera because I'm driving right now.
That's okay.
So I was working with a client from the tour leads for like Monday to Wednesday. Oh my God. And they signed everything, the contract, and then I don't know, something happened. So they never sent the deposit. So we had to like void the contract for the house that they were getting.
Do we
So
know
I'm
why
just
they didn't finish the contract or the deposit?
They have like a special needs daughter, so they had like some issues between the brothers of who was gonna take care of the daughter. So maybe they were thinking they need like a smaller home instead of the big one. So I'm just gonna keep following up with them to see what's going to happen. Hopefully they sign this
Okay.
week or next. Yeah, they're not from here, so they said they'll be back this week. But yeah.
Hey,
And-
life happens definitely and gets in the way. So I definitely understand that.
Yes, I was just excited they were gonna sign it, and then they were like, "No, we have to back up." But yeah, it just happened. And other than that, I've been doing like calls on my Sphere. I'm trying this week to like start like what you guys were just mentioning, like have certain days for like follow up, like create like a schedule so I'm more organized.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's what it's all about, right? Which is definitely, staying consistent, pushing through the noise, right? There's lots of stuff going on in the marketplace right now. There's interest rates, the stock market's a mess right now. We've got a war going on outside. So this is all detractors. You're going to hear this stuff pop up, but it's just about being consistent. When you have a lot that's funneling to a few deals, that's how you stay consistent and you just fight through the noise, right? So, and then those systems that you're building, that consistent follow-up, doing your touches, doing your phone calls, that's how you just continue to build your business. So keep it up, keep making your calls. I know you're part-time as well, but I'm glad that you're here on Mondays and you're doing your stuff. Stay in touch with the clients. They'll definitely circle back around, right? And if they bought once with you, they'll buy again. So
Yes, I feel like I'm ready to start like the full leads maybe next week because I want to practice more this week on the mock calls.
It broke up there a little, Alani. I didn't get that.
Oh, okay. I said I'm still not getting like the full leads because I think I haven't had my 30 days.
Right.
But I think maybe they start next week, so I'm gonna practice more on the mock calls, on the follow-up boss, like the practice.
Oh, good. So,
Uh-huh.
so Matt does phone call training on Monday. So if you're available and you can jump on, he's
At
doing
what
lots of.
time?
Say again.
At what time?
Let's see. I think it's 1 o'clock. Let me double check.
1? Oh, okay.
So it's
I know that.
it's 1 p.m. and I'll have Alicia send you that training.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. All right, guys. Have a great day. We hit it right at 11 o'clock. Hopefully you guys have a great week. Keep building, keep grinding. Those expires will be coming out soon. I'm changing it to CSV and I'll dump it over to Dana and Jean. They'll be putting it in Follow Boss. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day.
Bye. Have a good day, everyone.
Hi, y'all. Happy Monday.
Yeah, I appreciate it.